Everyone, welcome to our Accounting 101 course. So today we're going to talk about journal entries. So far, we've talked about the accounting equation, how debits and credits relate to that. Now let's talk about the structure of how we enter debits and credits into the system. So I'm going to go over journal entries, and then I'm going to kind of show you the practical way that things are entered into current modern accounting systems, because the way that they teach in college accounting is more paper, and then you need to understand what is happening in the back end of the accounting system in order to troubleshoot it. But the reality is that paper journal, it doesn't exist in QuickBooks or in Xero. It is entered, these entries happen a different way. So let's talk about journal entries, and then I'll show you what journal entries actually look like inside of QuickBooks. So journal entries are how you enter the debits and the credits into the bookkeeping system. A lot of bookkeeping systems have different entry screens. So in accounting, before we had actual digital systems, we had, paper journals, and we had different types of journals. So we would have sales journals and expense journals. And then we also have the general journal. So when we talk about journal entries now, a lot of people just associate it with the general journal. And I'm going to show you the general journal. But when we go through a whole accounting cycle, I'm going to show you the actual sales journals and what those look like. Okay. So this is a general journal kind of format. So we have the date of the actual general journal, and then we have the account name, and we'll either have two or more accounts here. We have the description of what is occurring, and then we have a column for a debit and a column for a credit. Traditionally, debit accounts are always listed first. So we do all the debit accounts, and then we list all the credit accounts. Traditionally, the credit account names over here are indented. So you can see, what accounts are debited and then what accounts are credited. So this is the traditional view of a journal entry. Okay. We have the descriptions here. So I am going to walk you through each of the transactions that we've been working with and how it looks in a journal entry that looks similar to this. But let me pause real quick, and I'm going to pull up QuickBooks so you can see kind of what a modern journal entry looks like. Okay, so this is what a normal modern journal entry page looks like inside of QuickBooks Online. So this is going to be where a lot of small businesses are going to operate. Obviously, if you're not using QuickBooks Online, things might look a little bit different. But this is, in general, what we see with the general journal entry. So you'll have the journal date up here, a journal number. Generally, we number journals. You'll have an area to mark if it's an adjusting journal entry. We'll go over that later. And then you'll have a place for your account. You'll pick what account you're looking at. There will be a column for debits, a column for credits, and then an area to put a description along with a contact name. Okay, so a vendor or a customer. So you can go in and you can select, your different accounts here. And on, these journal entries, you don't have to put debits first and then credits second. You can do like a credit here, and then we could say, we could add this here. It'll show you if the total's balanced. And then you can add debits and credits as you go through. Perhaps, you change these around, and then this journal entry doesn't make any sense, but you get it. Like, you can add debits and credits wherever you want. You can have a description for a line item, or you can add a memo for the whole entire journal entry. So this is what we look at when we see normal journal entries. In addition, not everything is entered as a journal entry. For example, and this is a fake company, so we're not looking at anybody's actual business. This is a demo company that I have. So for example, if we wanted to enter an expense, we actually get something along these lines to where we have, we're able to enter a payee, an account where it's getting paid from, a payment date, and then we can enter the expense account. So what we're doing here in the background, there's actually a journal entry that gets created. So it's important to know journal entries because we're going to have journal entries in the background here, but our bookkeeping softwares kind of simplify the way that we enter things to allow us to have a more user-friendly experience rather than just doing journal entries. So there is actually a journal entry behind here. A lot of small business owners don't realize that. Here's the journal entry behind that expense. We just did an insurance expense where we debited the insurance account, we credited a payment account. In the background, there's a journal entry there. Now it's going to take a minute for QuickBooks Online to load because it likes to do that. But you'll see here, this is the actual journal entry. There's a credit here and there's a debit here. So it debited the insurance expense and it credited this primary checking account. It has a vendor name associated with it, that kind of stuff. So it's really, really, really important that we understand journal entries so that we can then understand how it ties in to our accounting system and what's going on in the background. Because in the background, QuickBooks or Xero or Odoo or Sage, they are creating journal entries. We just don't realize it, okay? So I'm gonna pause this and go back to my presentation. Okay, so this is our journal entry format. This is what is happening behind the scenes in the accounting systems. This is what we need to understand how to do. Because if we understand what it's supposed to look like, we can troubleshoot it when it's wrong. So let's go through these same transactions. So an owner contributes $5,000 to the business. Remember, cash has a normal debit balance. So we're going to increase our cash by $5,000 by debiting. And then owner's contribution has a normal credit balance. We need to increase it. So we're going to increase it by a $5,000 credit. Now, you're going to see that the descriptions are the same throughout these journal entries, but you don't have to have the same description for a line. You can have different descriptions for each line item. The owner provides $10,000 worth of services to the customer and the customer pays right away. So we're going to increase cash, which has a debit balance, by debiting it for $10,000. And then we're going to increase revenue, which has a normal credit balance, by crediting it for $10,000. Our debits equals our credits and our accounting equation is still equal. Our owner pays $2,000 to an employee. Now we are going to increase payroll expense. An expense has a normal debit balance, so we're going to debit it by $2,000. And then we are going to decrease cash. Cash has a normal debit balance, so we credit it to decrease it. The company pays $5,000 for inventory. Inventory is an asset. It has a normal debit balance, therefore we will debit it to increase it. Cash is an asset which has a normal debit balance. We need to decrease it, so we are going to credit it. The customer picks up $3,000 worth of inventory and agrees to pay $9,500 for it. We have accounts receivable increasing. We have a debit here because accounts receivable is an asset. Assets have normal debit balances, so we increase it with a debit. Revenue is going to increase. Revenue accounts have a normal credit balance, so we will credit it to increase it by $9,500. Cost of goods sold are going to be increased. This is an expense account. Expense accounts have normal debit balances, so we've debited it. Inventory is an asset. It has a normal debit balance. We are going to credit it to decrease it. The customer pays $9,500 on the receivables. We're increasing cash. Cash is an asset account. It has normal debit balance, so we are going to debit it to increase it. Accounts receivable is an asset account. Asset accounts have a normal debit balance. We are decreasing it, so we're going to credit it. The company purchases $6,500 in inventory on credit. Inventory is an asset account. It has a normal debit balance. We're going to increase it with a debit. Accounts payable is a liability account. Liability accounts have a normal credit balance. We are going to increase it with a credit. Owner withdraws $3,000 in cash. So owner's draw has a normal debit balance. We are going to increase it with a debit. Cash is an asset and it has a normal debit balance. We need to decrease it, so we're going to credit it. So hopefully that makes sense. This is literally just restating all the information that we've gone over, except putting it into a journal entry type format. So now that we have gone over journal entries, our next step is to talk about how we choose our chart of accounts. And then we are going to dive right into a full accounting cycle. When we do that, we are going to learn how to enter all of these transactions into QuickBooks or into an accounting software. Okay. I'll probably demo on QuickBooks while we demo on the presentation, just because QuickBooks, a lot of people use QuickBooks, but you can use this for any of the other bookkeeping systems as well. So I'll show you how to enter everything. And then we're going to talk about what we do with that information once it's in there. Okay, so now that it's all in there, what do we do with it? Where does it go? What do we need to do? Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. If you are having a hard time grasping this, please reach out and I can try to help you understand it better. And then we just need to have a good grasp on these concepts in order to move on to the next videos. So I will see you guys next time.